me up some.
And we won't have to cry no more.
Yep.
What's up, my kings, queens, gods, goddesses, conversations with court, back with another beautiful message. Let me just tell you, the devil is a hater because I tried to make this video yesterday, and God was like, when you got to remake it, or he kept just telling me, like, look at your video. Man, listen, it cut off. As soon as the message started getting good, and I was like, dang, I have to remember what I said so I can make sure I can still get out this message. So nonetheless, I'm going to run this shit back, okay? So yesterday, actually, shit, was it 2 days ago now? I don't even know. See, time is moving fast. So anyway, so the other day the theme was I kept getting the message out of time and running out of time, and specifically like running and getting to your destination, things of that nature, right? The message that guy had given me, he said, "Daughter, I need you to clean out your pantry." And I'm just like, okay, like, what are we about to do here? Like, he can us messages any way he can reach us. So as I was cleaning out my pantry, and he said, get rid of everything that's expired. So, like, of course, like, duh, like, you know. And as I'm cleaning it out, I didn't know how much expired canned goods I had. He was like, now, daughter, this is your life. He said, do you see how much expired goods that you had just sitting there, not serving a purpose, just filling your pantry with dead goods? He said, and they're just sitting there. He said, things that have been expired in 2021, things that have been expired in 2022, they have just been sitting in your life, holding up space for what is better to come, because you can't fill your pantry with fresh goods, with fresh fruits and vegetables, with new canned goods, because you have expired goods in your pantry. You have expired people, expired relationships, expired jobs, expired locations in your life currently. He's like, is this what you want your life to be filled up? Dead goods? And I was like, of course not. Like, that's easy. He said, then why are they still here? And I sat there and was like, dang. He said, things have expiration date. Nothing lasts forever. There are still going to be some points in your life that in this season it is expired. You're getting rid of it. He said, Court, what are you upset for? What are you crying for? He said, because it expired, honey. That means something new is coming in. When something expires, that means it has to be replaced, right? Something better is coming. He said, there's no need for you to get upset. There's no need for you to whimper. There's no reason for you to cry. He said, because that means you can now take inventory of your life and get rid of the old so you can bring in the new. And I was like, why does it hurt that I have to get rid of this stuff? And he's like, because when you're looking at it, it looks full. Like visualization of having a full pantry, not realizing that it is not filled with actual healthy and nutritious goods. It's filled of stuff that you can't even consume. And it's just sitting there. Because now that you're taking it out, now you feel empty. Now that space that where you was trying to stuff all this, fill this void, it's 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 empty now. So now here's your chance to fill it with good things, to fill it with nutritional stuff, fill it with things that serve you a purpose in your life. He's like, you don't have to worry about any of it because you're so consumed with how it looks instead of how it feels. It doesn't even feel good because you can't even consume half the stuff. It's dead. When instead of always cleaning out your pantry every season, you allow things that served you no good for years. That spirit has been telling us to cut off for years. Old relationships to leave alone for years. That job for years because it expired. Season, guys, like, I'm taking over the wheel. He said, because you are running out of time. He said, we don't have time for you to keep playing games, for you to keep sitting on your talents, for you to keep playing with your gifts. He said, no, ask them, like, what are you running out of time on? What are some things in your life that you know have expired and that you are too worried and too afraid to let go of? He said, because when you fight change, it makes it more difficult for you, instead of flowing with change, because change is constant. He said, so the more you embrace it, the more you accept it, the more you're just going to flow with it and go with ease. He said, your life doesn't have to be such a big fight. You know, even you ever see Muhammad Ali, how he used to box, right? And yes, he was in a boxing ring, but he did it with such ease. Okay, light as a butterfly. I just keep seeing his feet just bounce back and forth. He did it so steadily. He did it with ease. Yes, he was putting on a fight, but he did it with ease because he knew his power. You don't have to use so much force because God said, Court, you're coming up into a new season. He said, but time is running out. He said, you have to get rid of all the things that have expired. He said, things that have expired, things that are currently expiring in the next couple months that you're going to have to get rid of. And then you have things that's going to expire in a few years. He said, be prepared and just let it go. Because soon as somebody else gets out the vehicle, somebody else is going to jump in, right? Just because they was in this past season doesn't mean they're going to be here this season. You get a whole new team. God's like, you're about to have a whole new team, and you're the driver. He said, but you got to get to that destination to where your team is at that's waiting for you to show up. He said, you are out of time. He said, it has expired. He said, you doing what you think you need to do, what you want to do, fitting your flesh, getting those deadly desires. He said, it's done. He said, no more. Is this the life that you want to live, or do you want to live better than this? Because he's going to bring you into a new season. He said, when I tell you, thank you, Spirit. Hold on. Before I get off this phone, he said, tell them this season it's time for the study and it's time for the plan. He said, I pulled you back out of the driver's seat because you were not ready and we're running out of time and we have a destination to get to. He said, in this season, I am taking over. So in this season, I need you to go back to fasting. I need you to go back to prayer. I need you to go back to meditation. He said, because everything else is expired. He said, you have to go back to school, my daughter, because you got in this driver's seat, right? Like a teenager got their first vehicle acting a daggone fool, doing things you wasn't supposed to be doing. And I gave you a destination. I gave you a mission. You wasn't following that. Romans 13:11. So I was asking Spirit for a word, and I was like, God, give me a word. Like, where do I go with this? And he told me to read Romans 13:11. So in the Bible, I started off with Romans 13:11. And then today, I said, let me just actually read the full chapter. So it says, as you do all this, you know what time it is. The hour has already come for you to wake up from your sleep. Now our salvation is nearer than when we first had faith. The night is almost over and the day is near. So let's get rid of the actions that belong to the darkness and put on the weapons of light. Let's behave appropriately as people who live in the day, not in partying and getting drunk, not in sleeping around in obscene behavior, not in fighting and obsession. Instead, dress yourself with the Lord Jesus Christ and do not plan to indulge our selfish desires. And I was just like, dang, because God was like, bring it home, Court. God was like, the time is up. He said it has expired. It's time to get rid of all of those old behaviors, all of those old actions. He said, because I allowed you to do your will. I allowed you to play in the field, to party, to do whatever it is that you thought that you should do in your life. He said, but now it's my time. And God's like, I'm taking over the wheel in this season. He said, people are waiting for you at the next stop because you're the driver and they can't even get on because they're waiting for you. It was like, the time is up, daughter. He said, I am taking over this wheel. And when I give it back to you, you're going to have full control because people are waiting on you. He said, you are the example. You are not exempt. He said, I have a mission. I have a blessing far greater than you think you could have ever imagined. But I need you to get there. And you're not going to get there since when I've been giving you the map the entire time. You just keep wanting to spin the block. You're not getting there by keep just letting these old expired relationships, these friendships, this job, and not moving in alignment with what is best for you. He said, you keep bringing yourself out of alignment with these distractions. You know, you over here supposed to be saving for a house, but you're still looking at that Louis bag. You supposed to over here be detoxing, but you still want to go out and party and smoke. He said, we're not doing that no more. The time is up. Out of time. He said, you have been doing it your way. Now it's time to do it his way. And when God calls you to show up and take the wheel, he said, you're going to be ready. He said, in this season, it's time to take inventory of your life and get rid of everything that no longer serves you good so we can bring in the new in this new chapter. He said, yes, it's going to be scary. Yes, it's going to be tough. He said, because I'm not allowing you to see anymore because I gave you the map and you wasn't even looking at it. Next season, you're getting back in this driver's seat and we're going. No brakes. Thank you, Spirit. So I got to go start my day. I love y'all.